Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again, man. China, they came out with a new virus. They came out with a new virus, and they're trying to scare the world again. I think the difference this time, though, I mean, Trump isn't. He's already been elected, right? He's already president elect. He's not trying. He can't get another term after this. So I'm really trying to figure out like why is it why they letting this out now, right? Unless it's I wonder if unless this has anything to do with confirming his presidency, or maybe trying to sneak in some last minute mail-in ballots. Yo, man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I sure hope America doesn't go for this again. I sure hope America um, acts like the country that it is. You know, we lead from the front. We don't bow down. We don't run draconian measures. We tried it. It didn't work. Shut a bunch of businesses down. Inflation came like nobody's business. People lost jobs. People lost their livelihood. Jobs was threatened all over trying to push a zippity zap. Zippity zap. Um, let's look at this. Let's see what they're saying. Let's. I wonder if they have the same tone like they did last time. Right. Last time it was kind of like, oh, we got this thing. Look, it's all over social media. Folks are falling down left and right, and we got what is this pandemic from China? let's see what the media is saying. And so here's twofold why I share this. Twofold why I share this, you know. Number one, the propaganda in America is real. It's very, very real. You will hear you will hear the same language amongst several different news outlets. They all saying the same thing, right? And it's not really to report truth. It is to push a narrative. And the media, I mean, the media tone has been just a little bit different over the past couple of weeks. You know, um, really ever since Trump got confirmed, right, that he won. It's interesting how the tone of the media has changed. A lot of, I mean, all of the woke agendas was being pushed. Everything's being pushed. And now things are seeming to simmer down a little bit. It's very interesting. So it's here's what I learned in public relations. So I was a public relations major, and this is why when this stuff first happened, I was shocked, honestly, how people just believe what the media said, because it is a known public relations tactic to get people of influence, and also to repeat a message multiple times and drill it, have the same language multiple times, the multiple different voices, and at some point they kind of just beat you into submission, right? And so let's see what's going. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let me get this in here. What in the world is going on in China? New disease. Oh, look, there they go, showing folks on the stretcher, folks in the mask. Oh, hospitals loaded. Uh-huh. Oh, look at that, putting that stuffing it on the baby. Is this a new health crisis? Oh, look at it. Oh, here you go. Triple masking, face everything. Boy, here we go.
I hate to say this, but it feels like 2020 all over again. Overflowing hospitals and thousands of patients with flu-like symptoms. China is facing a new health crisis, a new disease outbreak, which looks a lot like the Wuhan virus. And as always, Beijing is sharing no information. They're calling it a pneumonia of unknown origin. That's how Chinese authorities have described it. Beijing says it has set up systems to monitor the outbreak.
Okay, so a pneumonia with unknown origin. Okay, pneumonia with unknown origin.
If you feel like you've heard this before, you have. From the same China, some 4
Same
years
China.
back.
Thank
They're
you.
making it sound like it's just the flu season. We do hope it's just that. But sadly, the pictures tell a different story. Take a look at this.
There we go. And you know what I found interesting was that the White House had a what was it? It was like a commercial, and it had all these masks on again, and the commercial just kind of subliminally planting the seed that they might try this again. And so y'all please don't fall for this again. Don't fall for this again. Let's take a look over here at Newsweek. I just want to we'll take a quick gander over here. I took it off. My bad. So Newsweek, let's see, when was this put out? January 3rd. Okay, so this was what, Friday? Today? Friday. All right, yesterday. So news reports and social media posts are warning of a new outbreak of a little known virus called human metapneumovirus. Okay, metapneumovirus. All right, so pneumonia. Okay. HMPV in China, but officials are yet to confirm this. Instead, the official reports of the Chinese Center of Disease Control and Prevention indicate rates of multiple flu-like illnesses are on the rise in China, according to the data up the last week of 2024. That suggests that that influenza is leading the outbreak at 30.2% of tests coming back positive. At an increase of 6.2 over the previous week, and 17.7% of people hospitalized with a severe respiratory illness testing positive for it. However, the same data set indicates that the rates of the HMPV are ahead of the other flu-like diseases such as COVID-19, rhinovirus, adenovirus linked to 6.2% of the positive respiratory illnesses test, 5.4% of respiratory illnesses hospitalizations in China. Okay, so what is it, right? It's a type of pneumonia is what we're getting at here, is what we're seeing here. How does it spread? Okay, so like other viruses, go figure, right? Hopefully, go figure. HPV usually spreads from person to person through droplets. Remember the droplets? The droplets. Coughing and sneezing through human contact, such as hugging, kissing, and through touching surfaces and objects contaminated with the virus, and then the mouth, nose, or eyes. So, okay, all right, let's see here. The U.S. HMPV circulates seasonally alongside with the flu and similar diseases, and is most active in late winter and spring. Yeah, it's late winter, right? What, Texas? We just kind of getting the winter over here. You know, we got some ice coming, apparently, allegedly, in spring. So, like normal. The U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, I want y'all to highlight this. The CDC recommends several ways Americans can protect themselves from the virus. Washing hands, often with soap and water, is what we always done. Avoid touching the face with unwashed hands, and avoid close contact with sick people. You notice that they did not say, was I not sharing it? I was not sharing this article. I'm sorry. I was not sharing this article. I was reading it, but I wasn't sharing it. Notice that they did not say, listen, so the CDC recommends several ways for Americans to protect themselves from the virus. Washing hands, often with soap and water. Avoid touching the face with unwashed hands, and avoid close contact with sick people. Very interesting that they did not mention wearing a mask. It's right here at Newsweek. They didn't mention anything about wearing a mask. People with flu-like symptoms are advised to cover their mouth when coughing or sneezing. Wash hands frequently with soap and water. Avoid sharing cups, cutlery with others. Avoid kissing others, and stay at home to recover. That's what you do when you're sick. If you sick, stay at home. You know what I'm saying? This isn't hard. right? Like what they did in 2020 was absolutely criminal. It's criminal, man. If you didn't wear a mask, if you didn't get you couldn't work. You couldn't be with your loved ones. And it didn't matter if you were sick or not. It didn't matter if you were sick or not. Put a mask on. Don't go to church. Don't meet with nobody. It was unbelievable the psychological warfare that came along with 2020. My wife and I shared it in another video on a podcast, but I mean, we were my wife was hemorrhaging from a miscarriage, and this was like 1-2 in the morning. I think it was about probably 2 in the morning, and I rushed her to the hospital, and the hospital didn't want to see her unless she had a mask on. Like, and they talking about, oh, but you're supposed to love your neighbor, you're supposed to love people. Man, this is crazy. And this was a Christian hospital, supposedly, and they wouldn't see us because of protocol. It's unbelievable, just janky protocol at that. I mean, it didn't work. How in the world did everybody wear a mask and allegedly we all got sick? Allegedly, millions of people went to go see the Lord. They went to go see the Lord, but they also incentivized hospitals to take in patients who were with the ickety ick. It's unbelievable, man. Let's see what else is out there in the news. That was Newsweek. I guess I look like I only got Newsweek. What is this? The Independent. Let's see what the Independent has to say. Let me go over here. We're gonna share this tab. Bring it up here. Boom. Oops. I'm not sharing this tab. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the Independent has. Golly. There we go. Has to say. China's experience. When was this? When was this article? This came out today. No, Sunday. Okay, so this is fresh. It's right off the press. China is experiencing a surge in infections of respiratory virus, leading to the overcrowded hospitals, emergency measures, and public concerns about an outbreak. The virus, identified as the human metapneumovirus, has seen cases spiking across northern China provinces this winter, particularly among children. Now, I'm going to be objective here and be a little real, right? If there is a legitimate outbreak, you usually know because the children are impacted because their immune systems are rock solid, and so when they get it and it hits them, that's usually a decent indicator of an actual real pandemic. But it's also just indicative of a real disease. I mean, kids get flu all the time, right? Kids get flu, they get pneumonia, they get all the same stuff, So it's a new strain, and honestly, that's not anything new. Like if it's a new year, almost every strain then morphed into something else new, right? So there's always a new strand. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff blows my mind, man. Like how they gaslight you. All this gaslighting is just unbelievable. So, the virus identifies a human. Yeah, like I talked about, the outbreak comes 5 years after the world was first alerted of emergency novel coronavirus in Wuhan, China, which later turned into a global pandemic with several million folks going to go see the Lord. Photos and videos of people wearing masks in hospitals in China emerged on social media platforms. Atypical, right? Local reports said the scenes of the outbreak are similar to the initial COVID outbreak, right? Health authorities are implementing emergency measures to monitor and manage the spread. Yeah. Here we go. You monitor and manage the spread. Here they go again, right? They're trying to sell it. Anything else new? Anything else? No. Okay, so first identified in 2001 as a single-strand RNA virus. Oh, here they go with the single-strand RNA virus, which is absolutely true. I mean, whenever you have a virus, viruses carry a DNA genetic code in there. And so that's what makes a virus different from bacteria, is that it is actually links to you genetically, which is impressive. Yes, it's amazing how God works, even in the midst of viruses and things. So, what should you do? What should you do? I do. Well, here's my thoughts. I don't think we're going to go back to what we saw in 2020. I don't get that feeling that's going to happen. I think in some liberal areas they might attempt to bolster up something. They might attempt to throw some mask mandates again, but they may not. They may. I think they may kind of do some light recommendations. Right. I think we're going to see. I think we might see some recommendations coming from liberal counties and liberal places about this, about this. Right. I think they don't really have an incentive to really push it. Right. Like they had an incentive last time to really push it because they needed the mail-in ballots so that they could jack up the results. And if you think I'm lying, I find it very interesting. I'm on a bender here. Find it very interesting that Trump had more votes in 2020 than he did in this year, and he won by a landslide. What do you do with that? I don't know, but sounds like it was very fishy during the last one, and so I don't see them having an incentive to push this agenda through. Right? We got 4 more years. You know what I'm saying? 4 more years with our new president. Praise God. And the only thing I could see them potentially maybe trying to use this is to slow down his economic plan if they could push that. But I think what RFK heading up that portion of the administration, I don't think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to go. They're probably going to get rid of Fauci. I doubt if this guy's going to be around. And again, I have no special insights. I have none. This is just me looking at the situation, kind of thinking and based upon what you hear, based upon what you do not hear the media saying. You know what I'm saying? Based upon what they do, based upon what they're not saying. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I don't think that they're going to push this as hard. I think liberal counties are probably going to attempt some recommendations. But I think the whole mask and shutdown deal is a done deal. They are not. I doubt very seriously we're going to ever go back to anything like that because of how much it killed our economy. Now, what I think could happen, now as I ponder this a little bit more, China could use this. China could use this because China don't care. They don't care, right? China could use this to attempt to disrupt supply chain again, right? I think they could use it to try to disrupt supply chain again like they did in 2020. However, it's already disrupted because Trump is gonna lay some tariffs on China. That's just going to jack up that whole plan. So I think there might be some defense posture from this new administration with this. But again, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a prophet at all. I'm looking, I'm listening, and praying and reasoning with what I see out there. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Put your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click that like button and subscribe. Share this video. Again, but at the end of the day, let's not go back to 2020. If there is any kind of mandate, resist it. Like this. It's a new pneumonia. Who cares? It's gonna be all right. Load up some vitamins, and you probably gonna be just fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. listen, this is what I would do. This is my personal opinion. All right. I'm not, personal opinion. This is what I personally are probably going to do. Right. Not giving anybody advice, not doing any of that stuff. Follow the advice of the experts. Check out natural experts as well. I would say that. Check out natural experts. So anyways, y'all, hey, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.